You're tuned in to Control Talk Now, your control news of the week with Ken Smyers and Eric Stromquist.
Welcome to Control Talk Now. This is your host, Eric Stromquist. I am at the Belimo Platinum meeting in Grand Cayman with my daughter, Evelyn, who's been rocking the Belimo orange all week. Ken Smyers is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hey, Kenny, we're going to have a short show today, right, Evelyn? Because you want to get back and swim some more. So with that, I'll introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Kenny Smyers from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hey, Kenny, welcome to the show. So this is going to be a very different Control Talk Now. Apologize in advance if the quality's not that good. Typically takes a lot of equipment to make this work, and obviously I didn't bring those with me to the Grand Cayman. So Kenny, we've had a big week, two big meetings. We were at the Johnson Controls meeting last week in Arizona. What a great meeting that was. Say a bit about that, if you will.
Oh, sure. It was a great meeting. What a great group of professionals Johnson has. The theme of the meeting was building championship teams. It was held at the Talking Sticks Resort in Scottsdale, and it was just 3 days of the most condensed professional training, product presentations, and great networking.
Yeah, it really was. And I think, Kenny, you made a great point. You were talking about how the last Johnson meeting, they were talking about how can we have their distributor partners' businesses grow. So it seems like everything in that meeting was about how to make the distributors more profitable. We did everything from studies of Generation Y, the new group of people that are coming to the workforce. What motivates them, how to retain those type people, how to motivate them, which was a very, very interesting session. Had a great economist that came in and spoke about what they're foreseeing for the economy. And just really, really good stuff. And, of course, great speakers. We had Rocky Blyer and David Rutherford, who was a Navy SEAL. So, hats off to Johnson for their hospitality. Really, really, really good setup out there. And, of course, Kenny, we shot a lot of video footage out there. Some of it we already posted on Control Trends. You saw it last week. Johnson actually hired a professional videographer to follow us around and interview people and product managers. So more on that when we get that tape in so we can edit it up. But so Kenny, let's just dive in. What were a couple of the posts that we covered regarding the Johnson conference this week?
We just didn't review them. We did have several videos and more to come. We had a great introduction. It was a great intro you made for the event. And we had Niels Stouwersval explain that N2 is going to be around for a long, long time. We had Terry Pearson introduced Johnson's new three-phase power meter. We had Greg Wilmer reviewed the highlights of the PCA base application control, which is a new controller Johnson's introducing. And then we had a great post on the Clemson University. Niels Stouwersval again explained the 20% energy savings using the wireless sensors for the HVAC and the lighting, and they had to save the polar bear's thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that kind of went hand in glove with the whole Generation Y thing. And basically the Clemson study, they put occupancy sensors in that automatically set the temperature back or up, depending on whether it was heating or cooling season. And they were talking about how they explained it to the students that they were going to be saving energy, and the students sort of came up with that means we're going to save a bunch of polar bears. So what was surprising to Johnson and Clemson was just how the students embrace this whole thing. So really cool study there. We can get you a copy of that if you want one. And of course, Neil's talking about the N2 product was a big piece, Kenny, because they were talking about discontinuing that product, and they have such a great installed base of that. Basically, Kenny, the customer said they wanted to keep the product, even though Johnson has bigger, faster, better, cheaper products now. There's still people out there that just want to stick with the philosophy is not broke, don't fix it. So very encouraging news to the users out there who use the Johnson N2 product. That's going to be around for a while. So Kenny, it was a great meeting out there. I think the big thing we want to harp on this week is the 15th, October 15th is the last opportunity you have to nominate your favorites for the 2013 Control Trends Awards. And Kenny, how many countries have voted so far on this? You were telling me last night it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, Eric, we have participation from 28 countries across the world. It's just been an amazing response, but we still have a feeling that some people just didn't get the news, didn't get the message, and they didn't put their communities and their networks together to get nominated. And but it all closed down October 15th. It's going to be an exciting conclusion to a great Control Trends Awards 2013.
Yeah, absolutely, Kenny. It looks like we got several new players that look like they're going to be nominated if things stay on track here. I think we've upped the finalists from 5 to 7 to get more participation. So you're right, Kenny. Exciting times. You and I head to New York the end of October to check out BB King's, where the event's going to be held, so exciting times there as well. So Kenny, like I said, we're going to have a truncated version today because I'm on the beach and my wife and daughter are going to kill me if I don't get back at it. But I do want to say a little bit something about Belimo and their Platinum Distributor meeting. I'm in the Grand Caymans. Stromquist is a Belimo Platinum distributor, so a special thanks to all our customers who buy Belimo from us for making this possible. The Smyers Company is also a Belimo Platinum distributor. Your brother Tom and his wife Olga are down here, so we've had a good time with them. Great meeting. Belimo, it's a bit of a business meeting, but also sort of more of a rewards trip, Kenny. So all I can tell you about Belimo is they're coming out with some exciting new products, which we'll cover on Control Trends. One of the big ones, Kenny, that's very encouraging, the Energy Valve, which was the 2012 Control Trends Commercial Product of the Year, and just an amazing product for lowering delta T and saving energy. We're going to say a lot more about that product, but it was typically in the bigger sizes, Kenny. Now they're going to have this thing is going to go down as small as 1/2 inch, which is going to allow you to, like I say, lower the delta T, but also it's got a BTU meter built into it. So now you can actually control air handling units and heat exchangers off of BTUs. So really, really cool there. We've talked about their new universal linkage, Kenny, in the past. That continues to be a great product. And then, of course, their new economizer, their zip economizer. So 3 great products that they rolled out in 2013. More to come in 2014. But listen, a special thanks to Lars, Gary, Mike, and Chad for just a really, really wonderful trip. So again, we're down here in the Grand Caymans. It's absolutely wonderful. Probably know this guy. He's, I think, the older brother of the man, the myth, the legend. This is the man, the myth, the legend's older brother. This is Tom Smyers. Tom, welcome to Control Talk Now.
Well, I'm happy to be here, and I want to congratulate Eric and Kenny for the great job they've done, and all the Control Trend contributors. Those guys have been a great asset to the industry, and they know their stuff. So thanks for letting me say hello.
Thanks, buddy. Well, hey, real quick, you got anything with Great Belimo Conference, huh?
Oh, I think they got a great product. Their focus is, I don't think there's a better focus in the industry. They do one thing really well, and they're the leaders in innovation in that product area. So
now, you correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the stats they gave us, Kenny, is they spend $6 million a year on research and development. They have over 60 engineers that work just on valves and actuators. I think their next biggest competitor has 6 that work on it. So you're right. I mean, they just really focus on that stuff.
They do. They really do. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Tommy, thanks so much. It's Tom Smyers from the Edward C. Smyers Company. So Belimo's on the move again. They're not sitting still. Johnson Controls, great stuff. And of course, we did post our girl Amy Anderson from Honeywell. She runs the Honeywell marketing team up there. Honeywell's on the road. Their Momentum on the Road, Kenny. So I think they had their first Momentum on the Road in Minneapolis at Minvalco. I saw Dan send from Minvalco down here, and he said it was a big success. So the Honeywell Momentum Roadshow will be coming to a town near you. We'll keep you posted on that.
There's a nice link on Control Trends that goes, if you register, you can see the city-to-city format, and the dates and times are going to be in different cities.
So Kenny, while we were out in Arizona and traveling, Stacy did a great post. She and 2 of our other folks were at Mark Jewell's 6-day boot camp. Mark is a contributor here on Control Trends. They were just totally blown away by the whole thing, Kenny. Just Stacy couldn't say enough, so she wrote a little post about her experience there. So Mark Jewell, EEFG.com. I've got 3, Kenny, that are heading up to the EEO training, Honeywell's EEO training next week in Minneapolis. Mark does the first day of that training. and which is just fantastic. And then Honeywell does 2 days after that, where they go through actually their energy saving software, where they show you how to calculate energy savings. It's a fantastic program. If you're a Honeywell distributor or sell Honeywell products, that is a must. The Honeywell EEO program, our friend Jock Connell runs that up there. And hey, our friend Mr. Jones came up with another post this week. Tell our viewers, listeners a little bit about that, Kenny.
Right, just going back to Stacy's real quick, great post, but they talk about how much money, when a data center is down for 1 minute, it costs $5,600 per minute.
Yeah.
When a lost worker can't perform his or her job. So it was a great post as far as the upgrading light bulbs and lighting controls, implementing a building automation and CO2 sensors and variable frequency drives, water reducing fixtures. And we already got a nice comment back in there. Stacy drew some attention from an engineer who commented about CO2. How if you do CO2 demand control ventilation, you got to have some good sensors, and you also have to have a building management support to make it intelligent and work.
Right, and Kenny, that's right up our alley, because I know the Smyers company, we handle good CO2 sensors, you handle good CO2 sensors, our friends at Controls Group North America does, so just reach out to your local distributor. They can hook you up with the CO2 sensors, no problem.
All right, Eric, Bill's post was really neat because the Nest is back. New product, looks like they're going for another piece of that residential prize because they're in the carbon monoxide sensor business. So you have Nest introduced Nest Protect, a new smoke detector wrapped in a highly engineered package, really unique looking. So again, Nest does it again with a stylish marketing, and it's a talking smoke detector. It has several new features for the tech-minded owner. So it has a speaker, the verbal warnings, which other carbon monoxide sensors have the speaking, the verbal warnings as well. But this has a very unique aspect that it has. It's connected to your thermostat. So it has a color ring too. So when your lights go out, Protect briefly glows green to show it's working, soft white when somebody passes beneath it, and yellow when the batteries need replacing. So pretty cool stuff coming again from Nest, and it's a really neat looking smoke detector.
Well, it really is. Well, Nest is on the move. It looks like they're going to be finalists in the 2013 Control Trends Thermostat of the Year Award, so maybe Tony Fidel will make the ceremony this year. We invited him last year. I was kind of surprised he didn't show up.
Well, I'm sure he's a busy guy, and yeah, you're right. Nest is making a global effort as one of the leading thermostats in the world. I heard some figures about what they were selling, and I couldn't confirm them, so I don't think I want to say it until I know a little bit more about them. But one other thing about Bill's post is that the Nest carbon monoxide sensor, he has $130 down as the price tag, so that's going to be a pretty expensive investment. You buy. In other words, we have to find more about it. So what are the benefits of such an expensive smoke detector?
Yeah, I tell you what, there is sort of that whole realm of the cool. And I'm right now with an Apple computer. I buy Apple products. They're obviously not the least inexpensive, but I just like the Apple stuff. And Tony Fidel, who started the Nest, was the guy who developed the iPod, I believe. So I think you get a lot of that. I think you get a whole lot of that engineering in, that Apple stuff. And hey, Kenny, I got a special guest that's coming on the show real quick. Hang on So we got one of the beach beauties down here is been on the beach. She's been attracting a lot of attention. This is Evelyn Grace. So my daughter, she introduced her a little bit earlier. So Evelyn, say hi to Ken Smyers, the man, the myth, the legend. She's a big fan. So she wanted a chance to actually see you on screen and hopefully to meet you again real soon, Kenny. So, all right. So with that, Kenny, let's move on to the next post. What do we got next, Kenny?
Contemporary Controls released, Contemporary Controls BAS Remote received Sedona 1.2 framework certification. So Contemporary Controls is happy to announce that they've received the certification from Tritium, and the certification reinforces the BAS Remote Master's capability as an industry-leading integration and control device solution.
Well, there's our friend George Thomas again, Kenny. We've talked about George a lot on the show. We met him at Haystack Connect with John Petsy, Mark Peacock, and Scott mentioned the rest of the crew. And I tell you, George is just a super, super bright guy. We saw a lot of their routers, Kenny. They make really, really good stuff. So I think anything George gets involved in is good. I think George is up for a couple of 2013 Control Trends Awards as well as contemporary controls. So be sure to take an opportunity to look at those guys. Also want to thank Sarah Montaloni. Sarah and Connect Air came on as a sponsor, as you know, and Sarah and her team are up for several Control Trends Awards too. So, it's all good. Evelyn is a big Sarah Montaloni fan. She likes Sarah a lot. So, anyway, I got to hand her off. She wants to head to the beach again. So, my wife Anna is going to come get her real quick. So, say bye to everybody, Evelyn. Evelyn says bye. There's Mama. There we go. All right, Kenny.
The Control Trends viewers.
Yeah.
Niagara Central is launching a new release. It's going to be a new version. If you come in from the Vicon Tritium side or the Honeywell website, you're going to see a new Niagara Central beginning October 13th, tomorrow.
So Kenny, what's the ramification of that? What does that mean for like a guy who does Honeywell versus Vicon versus the Johnson Controls version or whatever?
Well, I think everybody, when you sign on you go to Niagara Central and then you sign on to your respective, Niagara Framework OEM, which would be Honeywell to some people, Johnson to some people, TAC Schneider, but you still got to go through the Tritium Tritium website, Niagara Central, and it's changed completely. I had an opportunity to go on the beta site. It's very updated and modern. It's simpler to use. It has easier navigation, and it'll be, it just has people get frustrated if they don't see how something works and if it's not intuitive to them. So they gave everybody an opportunity to do a new, to go to the new site and do a practice run, a test run, and they were inviting comments, But basically, you do all your customer information, all your ordering, license requests, purchase orders, order status, the literature, technical assistance. So it's good. It's an improvement. I liked it, and I think both in the Vicon channel that I saw and the Honeywell channel that I saw, it's going to be an improvement and should be smoother, easier to order and track your orders.
Okay, so there you have it. He's Ken Smyers from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm Eric Stromquist. This has been a truncated version of Control Talk Now. I'm in the Grand Caymans at the Belimo Platinum meeting. Special thanks again to the team at Belimo, to Lars, Gary Weber, Chad, and Mike for just great hospitality. We really, really appreciate it. And so with that, Kenny, I will bid you adieu. The man, the myth, the legend. Give us your sign out, your big indeed. I'm going to show a little scenery of the beach before we sign off.
All right, thanks. And thanks, Evelyn Grace, for the great show. And Tom Jr., thank you.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Indeed. All right. So there we go.